Welcome to Epic Geek Out, the only show on the internet where Jason Segel decided to remake Fraggle Rock instead of the Muppets. I'm your host, Rob.
And I'm your host, Chad, and today we're talking about the new Jason Segel romantic comedy that just came out in theaters called The 5-Year Engagement.
And on Thursday, we're going to be giving our review for the HBO show Veep.
Yep, HBO. We love their original series. They're awesome.
All good programming.
Cool. As usual, follow us on Twitter at Epic Geek Out. Also, you can send us any emails at fans@epicgeekout.com.
And then there's two other options to keep up with our constantly new episodes.
Our emerging epicness.
Exactly, though one of which would be to like our page on Facebook, or the best for us is to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So please do that. It's really easy. It takes a second to just create a YouTube, subscription name or your Google name, and just do it for us. We'd appreciate it.
Go for it.
So let's get into our review of 5-Year Engagement.
Let's do it.
So we just got done watching 5-Year Engagement. It stars Emily Blunt, Jason Segel.
You know what? He's a Muppet of a man.
He's a Muppet of a man. Chris Pratt, Allison Brie, Rise Ifan, and a couple other stars. It actually seemed like a lot of people from the Thursday night lineup on NBC were in this, just different role players from different shows on NBC. But basically, it follows a couple, Jason Segel and Emily Blunt's character. The movie just starts with them getting engaged, and it's really their relationship. You don't really see, you see one flashback of their relationship pre the engagement, and what?
Them meeting,
yeah. And then it's just really the trials and tribulations that they go through in an attempt to get married. And, I really wasn't expecting it to be as rom-com-y as it was. It's also, I guess, it needs to be said, it's written and directed by written by Jason Segel and Nicholas Stoller, and directed by Nicholas Stoller, and then it's a Judd Apatow produced movie. So Chad, what did you think of it?
It was surprisingly mediocre. I wasn't blown away by it. So I'm just gonna say that up front. Getting into more specifically about it, I was kind of looking forward to it. I thought it might be a really funny Jason Segel-esque comedy, like in the vein of Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which I really enjoyed. We both really enjoyed. But it just kind of, like you said, took on the more romantic comedy aspect of analyzing their relationship and tried to speak more to that aspect than really being funny. There were definitely some really funny parts. There were some parts that I laughed out loud. But I think overall, there are few and far between throughout the movie as what I was expecting and what I would have preferred out of the comedy. Something like 21 Jump Street, which we saw, I felt like had way more laughs, which I prefer that as a comedy aspect of it, considering we saw two guys together. I mean, maybe if I saw it with a girl, it would have been different. Yeah. But it wasn't like a comedy that you go see necessarily.
And I also don't think it was even a great romantic comedy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was. It was.
It struggled.
It was about
its identity.
Yeah. It did. That's a good way to put it. I think. I said this on the way home that I think a lot of these relationship type movies nowadays, they're leaving behind the movie. I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. The movie-esque relationships of the past where everything's all great and you meet the man of your dreams, you fall in love. And it focuses more on the reality of a relationship and picks apart and almost celebrates the fact that relationships are hard. They have trials, they break up, you get back together. And we just saw an indie movie called Like Crazy a couple weeks ago, which I thought had a similar message to this movie. Obviously, it didn't have the comedy aspect because it was all drama, but it did it in a way more effective way, communicated that better than this did, because at the end of this, it was kind of just all hunky-dory, everything's happy, and didn't really, it kind of said, oh, relationships are great because they're fallible, but then at the end, it made it seem like a Hollywood ending, and I was like, well, that kind of defeats the whole point of what you were saying throughout the movie. But
the end reminded me of the opening scene in The Muppets when Jason Segel meets Amy Adams.
It was kind of,
that's how odd and like,
it was weird. It was. I thought it was gonna be like a flash mob or something, but it was interesting.
Which they did in that Justin Timberlake movie, which had Jason Segel in it as
that's funny. I mean, overall, it wasn't a bad movie. Like I said, mediocre. It's definitely something. Wait for DVD and catch it. You'll probably enjoy it. There's a couple things I did like. I liked the for some reason I noticed this more in this movie where they call each other pet names a lot, like Babe, which I feel like in a lot of movies they don't do that for some reason, or you don't catch it as much. But I feel like that was more realistic.
Yeah.
They just, called each other pet names, which is, a lot of relationships do. So I thought that was cool. There was just some weird plot elements throughout. I don't know. It was okay. Meh. That's how I feel.
So I pretty much agree with your sentiments towards the movie, but I'm a big fan of Jason Segel and Emily Blunt's really good.
She's adorable. I love her.
Yeah, she's great. And so I think with anyone else, I probably would have hated the movie because, all those aspects of what you said are definitely there. But I think that they were very likable. You didn't really get into their characters as much. He's a chef. She's a psych major. She needs to go to Michigan. And that's really all they gave you. But still, even just at just one layer of them, I still enjoyed watching them on screen.
Yeah, I mean,
I still rooted for them, which you have to have. But I think I don't know of a movie where Judd Apatow produced like a romantic comedy. You saw his elements of a movie in it, and I just think that humor is great, and I absolutely adore it by itself. But it doesn't fit in the romantic comedy genre. And it was like, Chris Pratt's character. First off, they all seemed like
weird
people from.
Yeah.
He was playing, the same guy, Andy from Parks and Rec. Allison Brie seemed just like, how she is in Community. And in a recent Community episode, she does this awful British accent, which she was doing for serious in the movie, and it was horrific. It was like, "Oi, governor, we're gonna go sweep the chimneys and It was horrific. I thought it was a joke. I thought in the beginning they were gonna make you think that she was her sister, and then it was gonna be a friend or something.
Yeah,
because it was awful. It was the worst accent I've heard. I mean, it was really, really bad. And then, I liked it. I thought it was going to be more comedy in the vein of a Bridesmaids, where you are expecting this rom-com movie about a wedding, and it's something completely different.
Right.
But this was really just...
Yeah, they definitely do their shtick of, like, Jason Segel. They're likable, and if you like them, they do that.
And it was, he was playing Marshall from How I Met Your Mother. Like, I mean...
But I feel like that even there were some weird things with him, like, in the middle of the second act of the movie, in the middle, where he just got weird. I was like, I didn't understand
when he's
everything
angry.
Behind it.
Is that because
when he grew the beard, and I was like, what? I don't get this. Like, why? Like that part of like the view into relationships took me out because I was like, this is just weird. I didn't get it,
Well, and I also
it didn't seem realistic.
He wasn't believable when he was angry. I don't think.
Yeah.
Like I just don't picture that. It just doesn't seem to fit with who he is.
He never gets angry.
Maybe I'm just watching it. I don't think he does. And maybe I'm just watching it like I was thinking of like How I Met Your Mother and Marshall and things like that, and just like it kind of was like that character in a movie. But it was, there were points to laugh at, and it was It wasn't anything. It didn't make a profound statement. It didn't disgust me like Jesus Henry Christ did. It was just it was likable in a and it could have been much more likable and more funny or more serious. Or more, even when they try to be serious, he had a stupid beard, or it was some crazy thing like she gets shot with a crossbow, which it's in the commercial, so it's not ruining anything. So see it, don't see it, really up to you.
I'd say wait for DVD.
Yeah, wait.
I mean, I would say don't pay for a movie price.
If you're a fan of the NBC lineup of Community, 30 Rock, The Office, I think watch it because there's a lot of people from those shows in it, and if you like people from those shows, because I liked Chris Pratt's character. I mean, he was funny.
Friend.
He was the friend that was.
I didn't like that character. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it because he was kind of like a dick at points.
You don't watch Parks and Rec, do you?
Well, no, but this I shouldn't have to watch a show that's completely unrelated to understand.
But I think I liked it because
his humor and stuff.
It's his humor from that show completely,
right?
And I don't think anyone broke out of their.
At points, he like hated him, which was weird. When he came to visit him, he was kind of a dick to him. And I just didn't get the character. It was just weird because I thought at the beginning he seemed like his best friend, and then kind of a dick, and then at the end he was kind of his friend again.
Yeah, that was definitely odd. So Mets and Mets. I mean, it was okay. So check it out. Probably when it comes on DVD. And it's that time, ladies and gentlemen, again, to give our thanks. So, Chad, on this wonderful Tuesday, what are you thankful for?
Today I'm thankful for a little bit of news/rumor that I heard I talked to you about recently. You know about it, don't worry. It's okay. So...
Can I give a reaction like I'm here for the first
yeah,
time?
act surprised.
Okay.
So last week or 2 weeks ago, Sci-Fi held their annual meeting about like the lineup of shows that's coming out. And don't take this as like a condonement for Sci-Fi because they are coming out with a shit ton of reality shows, which they don't need any more of, even though Total Blackout was awesome.
Total Blackout
it was really funny. But they announced a show that's coming out. It's a scripted television show called, I think, Defiance is what it's called. But the thing I'm thankful for is they're trying to implement a really interesting idea. So basically the show is about a post-invaded Earth, like 10 years after aliens have invaded. And it takes place in Chicago and the surrounding areas of people trying to survive. So they are putting this show out. It's a scripted show. But then they're also releasing an MMO, an online game, where you could play along as citizens of Los Angeles or San Francisco, and events from the show will carry over to the game, and events from the game will carry over to the show. So I think that's a brilliant concept. It's probably going to fail and get canceled after one season because it's Sci-Fi. But I just think that's such a cool idea to converge things like that.
If that can succeed, that would be the most epic, geeky thing.
Like, can you imagine like the Walking Dead game, like online game, going on concurrently with the show? Or the comic even? I mean, it'd be crazy.
I think that's...
Something like that is
bringing
crazy.
Two things like that together, if it's done right.
Because then you have stakes, you're playing for stuff that you're affecting a show, and it's...
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's a huge undertaking, but kudos to Sci-Fi for trying it. So... I know yours, thanks, is a lot more exciting than mine.
So, my thanks. For any of the friends that have been around me this past weekend, I'd like to first apologize because I was a little excited. So, this show is coming out on Tuesday, and we recently got our studio passes, to go see a pre-screening for The Avengers in 3D this Tuesday night at 7:30.
The night you were watching this.
The night you were watching this. And I wanted to say this as my thanks for this episode because next week our programming is going to be all Avengers related. So it definitely would be a cool week. Theme week, our first theme week. I'm pretty stoked about
Avengers week.
And you can check out the picture on our Facebook page of me moments after receiving the studio tickets.
Like a schoolboy.
Never. I literally smile ear to ear. And so apparently my excitement actually broke the camera.
It's true.
But again, it's so cool. I mean, it worked out also perfectly because you're going to be away the weekend after that it was going to be actually being released. So, it's worked out great. And look forward to the reviews because I'm sure it's just going to be us being epically geeky.
Excited.
So
we'll see you guys on Thursday with our... what are we doing again?
Our review of Veep.
Oh, Veep.
The excitement in the
Veep.
air. I mean, it's just...
It's palpable.
You can only it is palpable. I taste it. It tastes like monsters.
We'll see you guys on Thursday. Thanks for watching this episode of Epic Geek Out.